Hey guys, ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury channel. Today guys, I want to talk to you about what really happens after a designer haul unboxing, a luxury wristwatch unboxing. I want to talk to you about the awful truth. And I was talking to a good friend of mine today, and he was talking to a dealer, the pre-owned watch dealer, Vintage Watch Co., and the topic of buying and selling, trading in came up. Do you know 90% of people who trade a wristwatch in on another watch are losing money? That's right, guys. I gotta tell you the honest truth. We all like the consumer, the feeling of empowerment that we get when we buy a luxury or semi-luxury product. But the real truth is, guys, I gotta tell you, I'm in the lux space, and a lot of times people are losing a lot of moolah. They're losing a lot of moolah. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't really want to make this video, but it's true. I'm going to link, I'm not sure if it's that corner or that corner, but one of the corners you'll see a little question mark. Click on it. There's a great video that I've just watched. I love this lady, Colorful Noya. She's a Malaysian in the UK, and she talks about luxury purchases. I think you guys in the luxury watch space will get a lot out of it. Let me tell you the awful, awful truth, guys. Let me tell you the awful, awful truth. Guys, for a pre-owned dealer to be able to sell a watch, he's got to buy it cheaper than what the person paid for it. Now, the exception, of course, is Rolex, but Rolex has a supply problem, so you really can't do that. But heaps of people buy Breitlings, they buy Omegas, they buy IWC, they buy Breguets. They then enjoy it for a while, and then they trader in. And I gotta tell you, it's pretty damn mean. One trade that recently came up was a guy had a gold Breguet, and he had an IWC Portofino, and actually it was a Portofino or it doesn't matter. He had an IWC 45 mil, I think it was, and guess what happened? He traded it in to get a Hulk. He wanted a Hulk. Why did he want a Hulk? It was a Portofino. Why? Because he wasn't getting kudos from the Breguet or the IWC. It cost him about 46,000 Australian dollars. He traded it in for a $28,000 Hulk. This is the whole thing, guys. If you're in this lux space, most people lose money in the lux space. Buying and selling, most people lose money. And I gotta tell you, it's a very, very true situation. Even your pontiff, I have done my dirt. I have done my dough on dud investment watches. Case in point, very recently, in March 2021, I bought a brand new Burgundy Tudor. Retail in Australia is $5,150. I got it from a super buyer. He paid about $4,400. when it time for me to get a bit of cash flow back, I thought, I just rebalance the collection. Guess what, guys? I'd worn it how many times? 3, 5, 6, 7 times. How much did I lose? I lost $400. I got rid of it for $4,000. And he was probably doing me a favor because it belonged to ArchieLuxury. I did my dough. I lost $400. Gone, evaporated, not to be seen again. This is the reality. You buy any wristwatches at full price, even with a slight discount, it's very hard to get your money back. The same can be said for many good brands, including Patek Philippe, Rolex. Rolex is a bit different because the supply is so bad. But let me tell you this, a good friend of mine, to get a Pepsi from an AD in Australia, he spent $250,000. $250,000. 250,000 Aussie dollars to get a lousy steel Pepsi. And he doesn't even talk to me about it because he says, don't worry, Arch, I'm on the wait list for a meteorite dial. I said, man, I think you've really, you should have just paid the piper and got the watch on the grey market without having to buy the other garbage, because he had to buy so much PAM tuners. He had to buy brands that really, really will make you vomit at resale time. So I want to say there, we all want to be winner, chicken dinner. We want to have new watches. We want to be the man about town, but 90% of deals that happen there, somebody's losing their shirt. They are losing money. They are ripping up $50 notes. They are doing bad things with their moolah. They are doing dumb things. And even though every year prices seem to go up, everything seems to go up more than inflation, that's true, it doesn't really help the people who have the products. Because let's be honest there, say you got an IWC or a Breitling, unless your price is remarkably cheaper, somebody who wants that watch would just buy the watch in store. They'll get their ass kissed. They like to go into high-end retail. They want to be swanky-wanky. Unless you price it cheap, it's not going to sell. So I want to tell you guys, sometimes you got to slow down and smell the fruit. Smell the fruit from the trees, because a lot of people out there, they are burning dough. They are doing dough. And I'm sorry, guys, but you get involved in the hype. And I got to tell you, the Financial Times, How to Spend It, these magazines in the financial newspapers, guess what, guys? They all talk about watches being the next Bitcoin, the next Amazon, the next big wonder. Well, why is it that all these articles, they don't reference the PAM collectors from the 2000s? They don't talk about PAM collectors. They don't talk about Breitling collectors. Anyone who has a Breitling with a 7750 Valjoux movement in it. They don't talk about that. No, they talk about some guy who bought a Submariner in the 60s. Yeah, I get it. The Submariner, the vintage subs are worth a fortune. Yes, I get it. But let me tell you this. They themselves there, they don't discuss the awful truth. They don't discuss the reality is that a lot of watches that people bought in the past, they've done dough. They have done their dough. You might think it's all cool to wear Rolex. It's all cool to wear Rolex, but you got to lick the AD's ass. Lick the AD's ass to get it, and it's just too. You can't replace it. You sell it, you won't get another one. This is the reality with Rolex. Guys, please be very careful. You see these YouTubers flexing and upshirting. They're all flexing and saying how wonderful and smart they are. A lot of these guys are dickheads. They are losing money. Please, I beg you, don't fall for this baloney. Buying watches constantly, this is a habit to make the watch companies rich. There are very few models that you can easily buy and get good returns on. Yes, Rolex, but a mate of mine spent $250,000 to get a lousy, shitty Pepsi. A lousy, shitty Pepsi. For all the garbage he bought, he would have been better off paying grey market dealer price from David S.W. and being done with it. Instead, he got loaded with garbage. Absolute garbage he had to buy. Guys, be very careful with your pennies. If in doubt, don't buy it. Think about it. Sleep on it. Talk to the wife. That is my best advice to you. Talk to the wife. Everything's a disaster. I mean, they will talk you out of absolutely anything. So, guys, please remember this. The luxury hobby, consumerism, it only works if you are a watch company. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. Be careful and take care, my beautiful fikers. ArchieLuxury, live on YouTube. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David S.W., David S.W., David S.W. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David S.W., David S.W., David S.W. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 paid review. I can't survive on Google Ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.